S. Chand presents educational video lectures as per the AICTE curriculum. Difficult concepts made easy. Study anywhere, anytime.
Hi. So, you have seen number of towers, electrical towers, or number of sources from which I am getting some inputs. But I know, suppose I am standing on X tower and I know what is the signal given by the tower or the source from which I am getting some input. But if I wish to find out what is the total input I am getting or what is the total effect from various towers, I cannot find it in a simple way. Using superposition theorem, I can actually find out what is the overall effect of because of number of reasons, maybe in terms of disturbance, noise, actual input energy. I can find out using superposition theorem the overall effect because of number of sources on a particular element. Hi, I am Professor Anjali Garg and welcome to S. Chand Academy. To know more about this topic, you can refer to this book by S. Chand Publishing, the link to which is given in the description box below. Today we are going to learn about superposition theorem. Along with superposition theorem, we will also learn about source transformation, which is used in solving many networks, making the complicated circuit a simpler one. So let me start with superposition theorem. We will discuss about source transformation. Now, why I need source transformation? I need source transformation to make my complicated circuit simpler one. I need to solve a complicated circuit. Now, to solve a complicated circuit, sometimes there are number of sources like voltage or current sources, and I cannot add my voltage source with current source or simplify my circuit. So, I transform one form of source, that is suppose voltage source, into current source and vice versa. By transforming this sources, I can easily get the algebraic sum of all the sources and can finally solve my complicated circuit. So, this source transformation is a very helpful way of solving the network, where I can simply in a single step can convert my complicated circuit into a very simple circuit and can find out current, voltage or power in a given circuit. So, source transformation is the process of replacing a voltage source Vs in series with a resistor R by a current source Is in parallel with the same resistor which is there as series in voltage source, and vice versa. For example, I have my circuit like this. These are the two open terminals. This is my resistor, this is my voltage. I can convert this into a current source in parallel with the resistance about the same terminal A and B, where the value of the resistance will remain same and value of current will become I is equal to Ohm's law V by R. And what about the direction of current? The direction of current will be from negative to positive. So, arrow will be from negative of voltage to positive of voltage, and vice versa. Vice versa means, suppose I am given this, I can convert this current source into a voltage source, where the resistance in parallel will become resistance in series and voltage will follow the Ohm's law, that is V is equal to IR. So, the value of this current into resistance will give the value of voltage. And what about the polarity? Polarity means this tail become negative and this head become positive. So, my battery will become like this. And how I am going to transfer? Suppose there is a branch here. So, this current I will be the current between these two terminals. And what about voltage? Suppose there is, I will go back. Okay, let me start with current only. Suppose I short circuit. So, this whole current will flow in this short circuit. So, I am getting, for both the cases, I am getting the same current. Now, if I go back for voltage, let me go back for voltage. You can see in the open condition, my voltage VAB will be equal to V between A and B. Now, if I want to find out voltage between A and B, So that voltage will be equal to, because now this whole current will flow in this loop only. So my current will be I. So voltage will be I into R. So the condition follows. My current will be V by R or my voltage will be I into R. So I can transform from one form to another form only when my output terminal voltage will have same voltage or same current in both the cases, which is applicable. So finally, using source transformation, I am converting my voltage source into current source, provided this voltage will have series resistance, this current source will have parallel resistance, and this R will remain same in both the cases, and my Ohm's law follow in both the cases. So if I need to find out I, so I will be V by R. If I need to find out voltage, voltage will be I into R. So let me take an example of this circuit. Now using repeated source transformation, I need to find out V naught. So first of all, we will see whether there is a current source in parallel with the resistance, whether there is a series resistance with voltage source. So if I am getting these two combination, I can easily convert one form into another form. Now let me convert this. And one more thing, you have to note that the voltage across which, the resistance across which I am going to find out voltage, I do not have to use that resistance. Now suppose I use 8 ohm, then where I am going to find out V naught, that is the point of question. So we do not touch this 8 ohm. So I have one option, current source in parallel with the resistance. I have another option, voltage source in series with the resistance. So I can convert any of this, and my condition is that I should recall that I do not have to change 8 ohms. So let me start with this. So I will convert this. When a current source is in parallel with the resistance, I am going to convert this into a voltage source in series with the resistance. So there is 4 ohm, there is current of 3 amperes, right? So I am going to convert this into a voltage source with same resistance of 4 ohm in series. So voltage will be I into R. So I is 3 and R is 4. And now you also have to remind that this battery has to be tail as negative and head as positive. So this battery has to be corrected. So actually my answer should be like this. For the given circuit with 4 ohms and current is voltage is 12 volts. So this will be now transformed into 4 ohms and a battery with 12 volts. So this transformation is this one. Now I replace back the rest of the circuit, 2, 8. So 8 is the resistance across which I need to find out voltage V naught, and then remaining circuit. This is 12 volt. Now we can see that this 4 and 2 are in series. So I will again convert this as 6, 12 volt, resistance 8 across which I need to find out voltage, then 3 ohm and battery of 12 volts. Now there are two methods. One is, now I need to find out, because this is example of source transformation, so better is to use source transformation only. So I can source transform of this, I can source transform of this. So let me source transform, and I do not have to use 8 ohm across which I need to find out V naught. So let me again source transform, better is to source transform both the cases. So this is 6, then my current will be 12 by 6, V by R is I, this is 2 amperes and direction is from negative to positive, then 8 and then 3 ohm parallel with current of 12 by 3, that is 4 amperes. And I need to find out V naught across 8 ohms, so I cannot touch 8 ohms. So now all the branches are in parallel, I can find out resultant current and voltage. Or if all the branches are in parallel, I simply have to take algebraic sum of all the current. So this is 2 amperes, this is 4 amperes. So there is 2 amperes, there is 4 ampere. Because both are opposite, so I am finally getting this as 2 ampere. So my current source will be upward, that is 2 amperes, because 4 ampere is upward and 2 ampere is downward. So this and this will result into 2 amperes. Then now I am talking about 6 and 3, both are in parallel. So 6 into 3 divided by 6 plus 3 is 2 ohms. So I will connect this 2 ohm in parallel across current source, connect back 8 ohms, and now V0 is this one. Either I again transform this into current source, voltage source. So this will be 2 and my voltage will be 2 into 2, 4 volt, and this will be 8. So now I can find out simply KVL loop. So V0 will be 4 divided by 10 is my current into 8. So 3.2 volts. So this is how only using source transformation I have obtained V0. So I will summarize again. Using source transformation, I convert voltage source into current source and vice versa. So for this particular question, we repeatedly convert first of all current source into voltage source like this, then this voltage source like this, then we add these two, we get the simplified form. Again we convert this into a current source, this is a current source, this is a current source, and then we will solve again and then again convert current source into voltage source. So by repeated source transformation from current source to voltage source to current source, and finally simplified circuit, I can find out V0 in a single step. So this is how using source transformation I even have not used any calculator and can solve a complicated circuit in a few minutes. So this is source transformation. Next is superposition theorem. Now superposition theorem is only applicable for the cases where there is more than one source. Source means either it can be voltage source or current source. So the main condition is it is applicable when there are more than one source. That source can be voltage source or it can be current source. But there should be more than one sources, then only we can use superposition theorem. Now superposition theorem says that if there are more than one sources, we keep one source at a time. For example, there are 10 students in a class, so we listen first from the first student, then from second student, then from 10th student. So we listen from each student as individual student, and then we sum up with all the inputs and come up with a solution that this is the actual statement coming from all the students, all the inputs. So this is the same applicable for superposition theorem. So if there are more than one sources, we keep one source at a time, and then we find out result because of that source. Result in the sense may be current or voltage in a particular branch. Then we repeat the same process with other sources, and current or voltage in any branch is algebraic sum of current or voltage because of all the sources as if they are alone. So we consider one source at a time, then find out output from second source, from third source, and then we find out algebraic sum. Algebraic in the sense we consider the direction. Accordingly we find out whether it can be plus or minus based on my input reference given. So superposition theorem states that in any linear active bilateral network. So linear is which follows Ohm's law. Active is where there is at least one EMF source. Bilateral is which can work in either direction. Either direction means I have voltage like this, my current can flow like this, my current can also flow like this based on my other elements. So bilateral means in both the direction, which is having more than one source can be voltage or current source, the response, that is output across any element, is algebraic sum of the responses obtained from each source considered separately, and all other sources are replaced by their internal resistance. Now this statement is very important. What do you mean by replaced by? Suppose there are two sources, I am taking one source at a time. So what about that other source which is actually present in the circuit? In that case, I assume that that source is not present in the circuit. So I superimpose that source. I assume that source is not present in the circuit. Now to superimpose that source, I replace that source by their internal resistance. For voltage source, we discussed in previous videos, for voltage source, we take the ideal voltage source which have zero internal resistance. In ideal case, voltage source should have zero internal resistance. That means voltage source is short circuited, because in short circuit there will not be any resistance. Similarly, for current sources, they have infinite internal resistance. So that means in case of current sources, if we want to superimpose or replace, we have to replace it by open circuit. So open circuit means there should not be any current. So I assume there is no current source, so there should not be any current. So open means infinite resistance, no current. Short means zero resistance, no voltage. So I am temporarily assuming that voltage source is not there. So short circuit means it is temporarily assumed that for that particular case that voltage is not existing or that current is not existing. So superposition theorem is used to solve the network where two or more than two sources are present in the circuit, and we individually find out the output because of each source, and then take the algebraic sum of all the results to find out the overall result because of all the sources. Now steps. First step is I take first source, and superimpose all other sources. Now for superimposing, voltage source is short circuited and current sources is open circuited. Then we find out current or voltage due to that source. Then we repeat same process with all other sources. Then current or voltage in any branch is algebraic sum of current or voltage due to each source. So this algebraic is very important because we are taking the sum using the sign or the polarity because of each source. So let me take an example. Let this is example. So there are two current sources, there is one voltage source, and I need to find out I naught. So my question is I naught. So for I naught, I have three sources. I do not have any idea whether my direction is in the direction of given direction or opposite. So I will take one source at a time. So because there are three sources, so there will be three steps to find out current in this branch, which is 1 kilo ohm. So there will be three steps. First step, I will take 2 milliampere source only. So I am taking only one source, 2 milliampere, and I will superimpose this and this source. So I will take now 2 milliamperes. So this is my 2 milliampere. Now this voltage source, this 12 volt voltage source has to be short circuited as per the rules defined, because the internal resistance is 0. So I am short circuiting it. So this is my short point because of voltage. Then is 2 kilo ohm, and current source is open circuited because the internal resistance is infinite. Now I do not have to see the direction of I naught which is given in the question, because my current now will be because of 2 milliamperes. So this 2 milliampere current will flow like this and will flow like this. In this current, I am concerned about 1 kilo ohm because I need to find out I naught in 1 kilo ohm. So my direction because of this 2 milliampere will be like this. So let this is I naught dash. I naught dash is a current in 1 kilo ohm because of 2 milliampere. So I need to find out I naught. Now let me use an eraser. So let me rub this so that you get more clarity about the circuit. Okay. So now we can see that this is my finally circuit left. So this 2 ampere current will flow till this node. Now this 2 milliampere will flow. There are two paths. One is of 1 kilo ohm, another is of 2 kilo ohm. So I need to use current division rule to find out I naught. So using current division rule, my I naught dash will be total input current into resistance of another branch 2 kilo ohm divided by sum of resistance in parallel 1 kilo ohm plus 2 kilo ohm. So I am now getting 4 divided by 3 kilo ohm. So this kilo ohm will cancel, this is 4 milliampere, and this kilo ohm will cancel from the above figure. So I naught dash will be 4 by 3 milliamperes. So I have now obtained current in 1 kilo ohm using 2 milliamperes with the direction. Now this is first step because of first source. Now second step is I am using now 4 milliamperes, this one. So this is my first step. Now second step, 4 milliamperes. So 4 milliamperes source only, and I superimpose all other sources. So this 2 milliampere will be open circuited. Now 2 kilo ohm, 1 kilo ohm, this voltage source is now short circuited. So I am just marking this is short circuited. This is short circuited because of superposition principle. And now I have another source due to which I need to find out current, which is 4 milliampere. Now looking at this direction, there are two paths. From this point, one path is short, another path is having resistance. Let me take a eraser to make it more clear. So my circuit is like this. So let me clear it. So I am having, this is 2 kilo ohm. So 2 and 3, this 2 and 3. So if I simplify it, I am getting now 4 milliamperes, then a resistance of 2 kilo ohm. So if I redraw this circuit, I am getting this 4 milliamperes, 2 kilo ohm, and this is a short, and there will be 1 plus 2, 3 kilo ohm. Now this 4 milliampere have two paths. One is of short, this is short path, another is of 3 kilo ohm. So no current will flow in 3 kilo ohm. So this whole current will flow in 4 milliamperes. So what is my 4 milliampere? This one. But I need to find out current in 1 kilo ohm. So my 1 kilo ohm was this one. That means my 1 kilo ohm was this one, 3 kilo ohm. So there is no current in 3 kilo ohm. So my I naught double dash is 0. That means because of 4 milliampere there will not be any current in this 1 kilo ohm. Now third source, third step. So my third step is because of 12 volt. So I open circuit all the current sources. So this is open circuit. Now there is a voltage source of 12 volt. And now my this current source is open circuit. And based on my direction of voltage supply, I find out current in 1 kilo ohm, this 1 kilo ohm. So this current will flow like this and I will get I naught triple dash. So let me use eraser just to make the circuit more clear. I erase this branch. I also, okay, let me. So now this, the current will only be in this loop, which is I naught triple dash. So my I naught triple dash will be 12 divided by 2 plus 1, 3 kilo ohm. So this will be 4 milliamperes and direction is from bottom to top. So if I summarize, I naught dash is also bottom to top and I naught triple dash is also bottom to top and this I naught double dash is 0. So what is my I naught as asked in the question is, in initial statement, if I move this, you can see that my I naught is downward. For the given question, I am asked to find out I naught, which is given as downward. Given statement, I am asked to give I naught downward, but I am getting all my answers in upward direction. So basically both are in opposite direction. So I'll write minus I naught dash minus I naught triple dash because I naught double dash is 0. So I'll get this as minus 4 by 3 and minus 4. So that is minus 16 by 3. Minus 16 by 3 is my answer. Why minus 16 by 3? Because my total current because of all the sources is moving upward, while I am given question to give me I naught in downward direction. So my current is minus 16 by 3 amperes because of all the sources using superposition theorem. So this is superposition theorem. In this video we discuss about source transformation, where we transform voltage source in series with the resistance into a current source in parallel with the resistance. Why we use source transformation? To simplify complicated circuit. If there are number of branches in series and parallel with having current sources or voltage source, we convert one form into another form so that I simply can add or subtract my current source or voltage source and can simplify all the branches in a single step. Then we also discuss about superposition theorem, where it is applicable for more than one sources. It can be voltage source or current source. We find out current or voltage in any of the branch using all the sources, wherein we keep one source at a time and we superimpose all other sources. For superimposing voltage source, we short circuit. For superimposing current source, we open circuit. Then we find out current in any branch because of all the sources, and we take the algebraic sum of current or voltage because of all the sources. To know more about this topic, you can refer to this book by S. Chan Publishing, the link to which is given in the description box below. If you found this video interesting, then like, share and subscribe this channel and press the bell button for updates.
All rights reserved. This video has been prepared for educational purposes only. No part of it may be reproduced or copied without the permission of the copyright holder.